Not proud, modest, having feeling of insignificance, inferiority, or subservience. It originates from 1200 Middle English, Latin humilius, lowly, insignificant, or on the ground. Is that who you are? Is that who you want to be? Is that who I am supposed to be? First and foremost, if you use the title Master, Champion, Grandmaster, Senior Master, Sadoshi, Shihan, any of these titles, you're not humble. So stop lying to yourself. Because you cannot feel inferior, subservient, or lowly, and you use a title like Master, Grandmaster, Shidoshi, Shihan, Sensei, or any of this other stuff. So stop being a hypocrite. Secondly, as soon as people come into your school, the first thing you teach them is what? Have confidence. Believe in yourself. Don't quit. Keep going. As soon as you take somebody to a tournament, the first thing you tell them is what? Be first. Have confidence. You can beat this guy. How are you going to teach somebody pride and humility at the same time? It is hypocrisy. No, the problem is you have people who come out and they want to teach somebody who's a beginner that's not a threat to them. So I don't have a problem teaching you to stand up for yourself. But then you see this young person develop to where they may actually surpass you. You are concerned about your business. You don't want to be surpassed. So you tell the person, well, once you get to a certain point, now that you're a black belt, now that you're a second or third degree black belt, be humble. Don't tell nobody about your skill. Don't show off. Don't let anybody see you do something better than me or do something I might not be able to do. You got somebody telling you to be humble. You ask them where the word came from. You ask them what the word means. You ask them where they learned that the requirement to be a martial artist is to be humble. Because I guarantee you, when that man is trying to rape that woman, if that woman is humble, she is raped. When that man or that gang is trying to jump that young man on his way home from school, if he is humble, he is going to be jumped and beat up and hospitalized, if not killed. You go in the military, they tell you sound off, open your mouth, get your weapon out. You don't have time to be feeling inferior. You don't have time to doubt whether or not you can execute the way you need to execute. You don't have time to feel insignificant. You got to get up, stand up, and do what the hell you need to do when the hell you need to do it. And that goes beyond martial arts. That's just being an adult. That's being a responsible parent. That's being a responsible employee. That's being a human being that stands up and says, I am. That's what you're supposed to do. And if you're an instructor and you're teaching people to be humble, you're full of shit. And the reason I'm telling you you're full of shit is because your whole purpose in being an instructor is to inspire, to motivate, to empower, and to help people be better than what they were and see that they're better than what they were. And in order to see that you're better than what you were, you got to take pride in something. You got to believe in something. You got to take pride in your family. You got to take pride in your school. That's why we wear that school patch. You got to take pride in everything that represents who you are and what you believe in, and be willing to stand up for it, and if necessary, live and die for it. That is the code of martial arts. That's what a warrior is. That is what the samurai did. That is what the Ashigato did. That is what the Ottoman Empire and the Turks did. That's what all the warriors and soldiers for all time have done, taking pride in themselves, their family, their country, where they came from, the patch that they wear, the stripes on their sleeve, and said, you know what? I am, I will, and you cannot stop me. But the minute you teach somebody to be humble, you teach them to be a victim. Because it is not a coincidence that the word humble originated in England in the 1200s, at the same time that you saw the beginning of the slave trade, the beginning of the annihilation of the Native Americans, the beginning of the conquest of the Latin American continents. That's not a coincidence. You live humbly, then you get erased from the history books, and nobody ever know you lived at all. So it is not a sin to take pride in who you are and where you come from. It's an obligation, because that is how we survive.